Welcome students. In this module, let's focus on deduction and induction. We shall focus on two types of reasoning in this module, deductive and inductive. We will also focus on salient features of deductive reasoning as well as salient features of inductive reasoning. Towards the end of this module, you will be able to identify the two types of reasoning as well as contrast the two types of reasoning and critically analyze the two types of reasoning. What is deductive reasoning? Now, in this type of reasoning, the conclusion is supported by its premises conclusively. That means the conclusion is strictly drawn from the premises, and the premises give sufficient proof to arrive at the conclusion. The defining characteristic of deductive reasoning is certainty. If you look on inductive reasoning, the conclusion goes beyond what is contained in the premises. So, the defining characteristic is probability. What I mean here in inductive reasoning is there is high chance of the conclusion going false when any contrary evidence is provided in the premises. Now, what are the salient features of deductive reasoning? In this type of reasoning, if the conclusion is necessary, that is, if it is forced by the premises, then only the argument becomes certain. Argument involves the claim that its premises provide all the evidence required for the conclusion. That means the evidence provided is sufficient. We don't have to go beyond the available premises. Additional evidence does not affect the credibility of a valid deductive conclusion. A deductive system is a closed system of argumentation. It cannot advance beyond the scope of its premises. That means it cannot go beyond the premises. It has to stick only to the premises itself. Now let's take an example. All human beings are mortal. Socrates is a human being, therefore Socrates is mortal. This conclusion, Socrates is mortal, is arrived strictly on the basis of the given two premises. All humans are mortal, Socrates is a human being. Now, when all humans have the quality of being mortal and Socrates is a human, therefore Socrates gets that quality of being mortal. In this type of reasoning, if all its premises are true, then its conclusion must be true. It cannot be false. A conclusion of a deductive argument is implied by the premises. Deductive arguments are typically analytic. They are analytic in the sense that they analyze or separate out something that has already been included in the premises and then they state that in the conclusion. In this form of reasoning, sentences or propositions are often established as self-evident or what I say given, which means that no proof is necessary and the premises are accepted as obvious before any reference is made to the facts. If you look at a valid argument in deductive reasoning, a valid argument is one in which the premises are true and the conclusion is also true, and therefore it is called as a sound argument. And what is an invalid argument in deductive reasoning? It is possible for the premises to be true and the conclusion false, and therefore why it is invalid? Because there is no logical relation between premises and conclusion. So what makes an argument valid and invalid is the logical relationship between the premises and the conclusion. We move to the next type of reasoning, which is called as inductive reasoning. Now, inductive reasoning is a type of a reasoning that is dependent entirely on experience. So, in inductive reasoning is that of learning from experience. That means you have to experience it and that experience helps you to draw the conclusion. The central feature of inductive reasoning is probability. That means they are highly probable, they are likely to change. We use inductive reasoning very frequently in everyday life. That the inductive nature of this kind of conclusion generally goes unnoticed. That means we use it so often that we don't realize that we are using inductive reasoning in our day-to-day conversations. For example, all the movies produced in recent years by George Lewis have been successful. Therefore, the latest film produced by Lewis will be also successful. So we have seen so many movies produced by the director have been super hits. Therefore, the next film which is either to be released soon is also going to be a super hit based on the previous super hit films. Now this type of reasoning therefore is called as inductive reasoning. The conclusion of inductive reasoning is never absolutely certain. Reasoning proceeds to a conclusion that is not conformed to the scope of premises but is somehow additional to or beyond them. One of the most obvious advantage of inductive reasoning is that it helps human beings to frame their expectations of the future on the basis of what they know about the past and the present. Here we can take an example of even the weather forecast based on experience. Conclusions about what is most likely to happen in future are guided by the accumulation of available evidence. It gives the power to project forward in time and predict what will probably occur. For instance, the weather forecast predicting the future rains on the basis of today's weather is a clear-cut example of inductive reasoning. Inductive logical procedure is always tightly linked to the concept of probability. The conclusion is based on the evidence, but the conclusion is never absolutely certain. The conclusion is only probable. There is the possibility of discovering new evidence in case of inductive reasoning. For instance, courtroom drama on television and in the movies often explains this point. The nature of probability is the likelihood that its conclusion is true as long as the premises are factual. The moment you get another opposite evidence, the whole previous established conclusion becomes probable. Inductive arguments are judged as strong or weak. The greater the weight of the evidence, the stronger is the argument. Terms such as valid or invalid cannot be applied to inductive arguments. It is concerned with test for measuring the inductive probability of strength of arguments and with the rules for constructing strong inductive arguments. That means we cannot say inductive argument is valid or invalid. We have to say whether they are strong or weak depending upon the evidence. The greater the evidence, the stronger is the argument. The less evidence it is, the weaker the argument becomes. This method of reasoning has been identified with statistics and scientific activity. So all the scientific activities, the scientific theories, the observations, all these accept or these adopt the inductive mode of reasoning. These are some of my references which I have used, and you all too can use this for further reading. Thank you.